All right. No rest for the wicked, right? Oh, where's my little comment thingamabobber? Let's see. There we go. Okay. So I'm gonna get rid of that. Yes. All right. All right, so far so good. Actually, I think the social handles would be better served at the top. Sorry, I'm like doing this in real time here. Deal with it. Oh, mister, how did you do that? All right. Guys, thank you again for being here. If you're new, my name is C.S. Murphy. I'm an artist in Los Angeles, California. I do this professionally. If you'd like to know more about me, there's links in my bio here on Periscope. Just click on one of them. It'll take you to either my website or my Instagram, which I update religiously. And by the way, I just uploaded 31 new pieces of art, and if you'd like to check those out, you can find them right here just by clicking. If you click on the three buttons in the lower right, or not the three buttons, but the three dots in the lower right of the screen, you'll see my bio. My bio will have that very link, csmurphy.com/store. That's where you can find most of my art, actually all of my art. So thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, okay. Feet. All right, let's see. All right. This is creating confusion. Thank you for the hearts. Appreciate it. Oh, this is such a good record. Hey, Michelle, how are you? Life is great. Thank you for asking. By the way, that brush pen is freaking amazing. It's like my most favorite thing ever. I never knew what a brush pen really felt like. Everyone's talking about, Pentel brush pens, and I'm not talking smack or whatever about other people who make other things, but so far that is my most favorite brush pen ever. So, thank you. It's Sketchbook Pro. Oh, don't worry about it. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, that's your brother? Like, for real? Like, for reals? Oh, nice. There we go. That's a little bit more visible. So what's next after this? I put it on my website. I think that's what happens after that. Slap bass. How's the projects coming along? Well, I'm actually looking for more work than I am working on my personal work. The only reason why I'm working on my personal work right now is because I need to have an updated portfolio of artwork that I'm actually proud of having on my website. And right now that's not happening. So I need to fix that. I have a Patreon coming up as well. I should have that up hopefully by the end of the weekend. And all that fun stuff. I'm just trying to maintain, you know. I've got some good tier system rewards going. If you guys want some custom one-of-a-kind artwork. Yeah, man. I actually got back into illustration, hand illustration, like sketchbooks and all that, back in 2013. That kind of changed my whole outlook on everything. All right. I'll go one more round with this. Evercell Originals, yeah, man, dude. Actually, 2 days ago, I put all of this stuff up. I have a link in my bio. The 3 little dots in the lower right-hand part of the screen will send you to my bio. You click on that, go to my bio here on Periscope, and then click on the first link, which is the one that you see at the bottom of the screen right there, csmurphy.com/store. When you go there, you'll be actually presented with a little ink globule with a link. So check it out. I highly recommend taking advantage of those because once they're gone, and they're one-of-a-kind drawings made on 5.5 by 8.5 half-tone Strathmore paper. So that's all I got to say about that. Oh. What's up, EJ? How you doing, brother? You're hosting my I said Tannel. You're hosting my Tannel? I wanted to say Twitch and channel at the same time, and it came out as Tannel. Thank you so much for the love. I appreciate it. Oh, that's what happened. I'm like, where's the face here? It's right here. Oh, man. I'm going to have to check that out. Did Tool, speaking of Tool, did Tool release their newest record yet? Are they waiting for some astrological alignment, celestial alignment? Those guys are very particular about that. And it's going to be amazing. And it's going to be well worth the wait. We're all going to be happy, and no one's going to complain anymore. Isn't Uranus in your moon? Yeah. Well, I'm not going to hold my breath, EJ, because if that were the case, I would have been dead about 2 years ago when they announced that they had something going on. Dude, did you hear the new Tool record? No, everybody's dead. What's this track? It's, that's a good question. I know it's The Algorithm. Brute Force is the name of the record, EJ. The Algorithm is the name of the band. It's only one person. He's a programmer and a guitar player, and he has a drummer playing live with him as he has a laptop with Ableton Live and all this crazy other stuff. Yeah, it's sick as stuff. It's have you ever heard of IDM? There's EDM, electric dance music, right? Well, there's something out there called IDM, which is intelligent dance music, and that's what this is. It has odd meters and all that stuff, hence the whole intelligent aspect of it. But he doesn't mess around. His friends are like the guys from Monuments, Periphery, all these crazy Protest the Hero. They're all buds, you know? But this guy in particular, he's got like video game music and like gent under his belt, so it's very mathematical. Sorry, I keep redoing this eyebrow. Oh yeah, it's right up your alley. I think, yeah, you know what? Start off, do the algorithm right and don't cheat, EJ. If you're really gonna check out their music, check out their first record, or his first record, called Polymorphic Code. Polymorphic Code. It's the best. It's the best. And then from there, just all of his work is amazing. So. Hey, has anybody seen the new Star Wars? Or are we still in like spoiler alert mode here? You know, a lot of people threw it under the bus, but I don't know why they did. Oh yeah, Stimpy. I totally got you into Stimpy. Those guys are good. Yeah, you'll like these guys. They're a little bit heavier. Prog name? What do you mean, man? It's called Sketchbook. Thank you for the super hearts, by the way. Whomever gave out the super hearts there. But yeah, Michelle, that brush pen is amazing. I can't thank you enough for that.
Bonjour et bienvenue à bord de l'univers de la musique assistée par ordinateur. Vous pouvez de chez vous enregistrer vos toutes dernières créations et obtenir un rendu professionnel.
Oh, nice. Oh, this is an experimental track with the guy from Igor. This is a crazy track. Oh, thank you. Huh. Yeah, I don't really consider myself a Canadian any longer, considering I've been here for 3/4 of my life. Oh, you're Sagittarius, huh? Interesting. To address your wobbly line issue, the quicker you draw, like, you know, from left to right or whatever, the smoother the line. Plus, using smoothing inside of, say, like Photoshop, for example, will help that out as well. There's something called spacing. If you take the spacing and you put it to like 0.8 or something, that'll help tighten up your line some as well. Get rid of all the jitter and all that crazy stuff as well. So if all of those options are up, then lose them. It's nice to see Restream being all cooperative today. It appears my computer's frozen right now. You know, I can't help myself but to do that. I sketch out of these halftone Tone Tan sketchbooks, as you guys know, and it's pretty much that color. Not only that, but there are a few art heroes that I follow that have said something that's really important, that if you start on a white, I mean, you can start on whatever background that you want, but if you work on a background that's kind of like a halftone, basically like a mid-range color to start off with, your colors come out more even because you're not working with such a stark background, you know? Yeah. Yeah. And plus, think about it. When you want to put like a highlight or something, if you have a white background, I can't do something like this, you know? Like if I wanted to make like a, you know, a stark white background or, you know, to the eye or something like that, you know? It doesn't give you that brilliance. You have to work harder for it. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. There we go. There's a little bit of a tangent there. We're going to fix that. Yeah. I don't use any animation software. You know what? As of late, not too many. It's nice to know that people are actually asking questions, because Periscope hasn't been doing all that well, at least on my end. I mean, I was featured during Christmas when I did that VR Christmas tree. That was fun. Huh. The Last Jedi? That's interesting. It must have been a pretty popular scope. Ah, okay. Excuse me. Yeah. there was a part of me that I tried to create the most, intelligent, most, comfortable scope titles, and I had a feeling, not to, boast myself, but I knew that if I made the title "Creating a Christmas Tree in Virtual Reality," that would be worthy of some type of recognition. It's all about the title. There's a lot of people that are like, "Hey, check out my tits. I'm going to show my tits off at 500 blah," and it's like, come on, man, really? Are you really going to bait someone like that? And I've even had some some pretty respectable people on Periscope do that just to get a rise. Maybe it's things ebb and flow, people. You're not going to have thousands of people every freaking broadcast, so don't stick around and make it your life's blood hanging around for 5 hours just so you can break 1,000 viewers. Really, because it's so obvious what it is that you're doing that you lose the respect of the people that actually really that you're working hard at getting, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to lose respect from your peers, because I have unfriended people just based on that premises alone. Just, you're doing that? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? You're an artist. Why are you, showboating your body with a Periscope title? But I digress. If I had tits, I'd do the same. In all seriousness, though, I didn't mean that last remark. Although I kind of did. The only reason I say that is because there was an experiment that went on with a late 60s male that had this very promiscuous looking profile picture. Sorry, I'm fishing for words for some reason. And it worked. He had this hot looking, mid-20s model as a profile picture, and he had thousands and thousands of followers, and that's because the followers judged a book by its cover. They didn't go fishing enough to see that that person was actually a male, so they just followed him just based off of how they looked. So anyways, I digress. It sells, but no one wants to see your ass in the air. Do it the right way. Arch your back at least. Oh, I gotta stop. I'm sorry. Yes, this is officially titled The Cholo Waiter. I'm doing the line art. Whoops. Doing the line art right now, and actually this character is made up of a series of different layers which show the volume of this character, And it is. Cholo's very Hispanic. So we're going to do this. I'm actually going to hit save because I'm happy with the way his head came out. those weekends. What else have I designed? What a great question that is. And thank you for asking. If you would like to check out anything else that I've done, completed, and have served to the World Wide Web, please feel free to go to CS Murphy Art on any of these social media platforms. Okay? Instagram is the most updated. I'm on, Snapchat occasionally. But if you want to see my art in its truest form, go to csmurphy.com. In fact, I've put a whole bunch of new stuff up, you guys. csmurphy.com is where you need to go to check out my website and all of my artwork. If you're interested in buying an original one-off, if you're a collector, csmurphy.com/store is where you need to go to check out all of my work that's for sale and check out the stuff that's been sold already. It's going fast, so check it out. Really appreciate it. And guys, if you have friends on the network, share this broadcast. I would really appreciate it. That shows your love in a way that that doesn't involve money. So share the broadcast. If you guys have friends on here, I would very much appreciate that. Okay. 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 I hope so. I surely hope so. Hey, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate it. Have yourself a great night. Yes, it is. Thanks, Caleb. Ooh, there's a nice line that I didn't see until I turned off and on this layer. That's very cool. Okay, I need to do something here. Okay. It's called Sketchbook. Autodesk Sketchbook. What are we doing here? This guy needs to go over here. Okay. Then I'm going to grab this blue layer here and move all of this shit over here. And then finally I'm going to grab this guy and this guy. And just move this along here. Where are we? Oops. Okay. That. What? What's going on here? You like mariachi mushroom? Awesome. I do too. That's actually an unfinished piece. I was happy with the one mariachi, but ideally I want a viola player and like a stand-up bass player on, like, basically like a just like a three-piece, if you will. Okay. We need to find where this layer is, because for some reason I'm just totally perplexed. Here we go. So we're going to move that down this way. Oh, because he was over here the entire time. Ah ha ha ha. Tricker, tricker. Okay. I see what's going on here. It's the old in through the outdoor. This one. Okay. Holy shit. Your art seems scatterbrained a bit. I would like a little bit of clarification on that, because I'm not quite following what you are saying. So you mostly do animation style or cartoon? May I have a style or theme? But no theme or direction. I don't know what you mean by that, though. What type of direction are you talking about, though? And I'm not taking this, negatively. I'm curious to know what you're being vague about. Like, no theme or direction. I'm a character designer and I'm an illustrator. So the types of clients that I get are people that want either some type of original character fulfilled, or they're looking for an entire illustrative piece to their story, in which case we're talking about, anywhere from 15 to 30 drawings. So what I have on my website is actually showcasing what I'm capable of doing as an artist, which has direction because it's everything from, cute and cuddly to little monsters with multiple eyes. That's what I do. So you can call me a character / creature designer. You can call me an illustrator. You can call me a cartoonist. There's a variety of avenues that you can kind of, surmise to. But I mean, I am definitely in no way, shape, or form aimless in my direction or theme, for that matter. I feel like you can do a cast. I feel like you can do a cast. It's like a broad array. Oh, I understand what you mean by that. In that case, then I would be looking to, say, for example, sell an IP, or like the next SpongeBob, or just a unique cartoon series. I feel like you can do a cast. It's a broad array that is not specific to your art. I feel like you can do a cast. I've done that before, Taken. I've done work where I've created an entire character cast for a friend that was pitching, and still is pitching, has been pitching for like 5 years, this cartoon that they're looking to get off the ground. Sorry, it's hard too quickly. No, don't worry about it, man. I appreciate your input. I really do. I appreciate your brute honesty. Oh, okay, cool. Sometimes that happens, man. 9 times out of 10, if it's having problems connecting and all that stuff, you just have to turn it off or reboot your phone because it's a resource hog. Yeah, you are absolutely right. I actually have some friends that work at Fox and Bento Box, and that's very, very true. Alright, so I'm going to save this because yeah, especially notifications. A lot of people are like, how come you're not on my scope, man? How come you don't visit? There's, if I turn notifications on, my phone would not stop chirping. Can't do that to myself. Oh, it is a struggle, man, for sure. Yeah, I'm broadcasting through a program called Restream, and Restream allows you to multicast. So I'm actually broadcasting on 3 platforms right now: Periscope, Twitch, and YouTube. So if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, you'll actually see this in better quality because Periscope really doesn't have a very good way of giving you a high resolution experience here, so I would recommend it. Oops. Oops. There we go. art has a weird place with technology only because what you create that takes you maybe 90 to 500 hours, whatever the case may be, maybe even 5 seconds, it's duplicatable. You can create prints, and you can make $25 a print off of the one thing that took you 90 hours to do. You can make thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars if you do it right, doing the same thing. But people have discounted people's art because of that exact thing right there. That's why I have a lot of original art on my website. So if you go to my store section, which can be found right over here, csmurphy.com/store, you'll see that I have a lot of original artwork that can't be duplicated unless you want to be a schmuck and actually make posters and make a living off of my blood, sweat, and tears. But not too many people do that because there's ways of finding that out. Yeah, I like tangible art too, my friend, for sure. Because if my computer dies, guess what? The thing that I've been working on right here for the past couple of hours goes with it. Caleb, to answer your question about all three syncing, it uses a program called OBS. Look up Restream, 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 and OBS, Open Broadcast Software. The Open Broadcast Software is what initiates the actual broadcast that you're hearing now, and Restream allows you to knit them all together in a lovely live streaming blanket for everyone to watch. Oh, me too, man. I mean, that's why. I mean, one of my friends was on here earlier, and they were like, "I love how you keep the background tone tan," and that's only because of what I use traditionally, which is literally just that. This right here, tan tone sketchbook. Everything starts with that tone, and as you can see it, if I lift it above, it's almost really the same color as the screen that I have digitally. But I use the tone tan stuff only because it works better for me. So oh yeah, for sure, man. That's what I'm doing. This right here is going to be a header on my website just to show like the progress. But I mean, everything starts with a really like rough chicken scratch like this. It's like I have an idea about something. It definitely describes a lot, but it can definitely look better and can be more refined if you keep working on top of it, layer by layer by layer by layer, So this will be added to my website, just as some candy, some eye candy, And this is what it takes, you got to be mindful of all of your volumes and everything, How your character fills space, how it recedes in perspective, overlaps, all that fun stuff, If you can create characters using this type of example right here, then you can get it to this level because the shapes are the same as well. There's nothing different. Oh, nice, man. I got into caricature. That is so freaking hard. I can do it, but it's so painstakingly hard because, as you know, being a portrait artist, that our faces are asymmetrical. So you have to pay attention to every little angle that's in your eye socket, on your eyelid, you know, any little like inflection or phenome that naturally sits on your face, on your lips, like everything has to be accounted for. And it's no joke. If you're doing portrait work for a living, then I tip my hat off to you. Oh yeah, look at that. Bam. Love it. 30 to 50 hours. Jeez. Yeah, if you watch or check out some of my Instagram stuff, mainly the stuff from a couple of years ago, if you dare venture deep enough in my Instagram, you'll see a couple. One is God, I forget his name, but he's so funny. He's on what's the name of that show? Parks and Rec. Ron Swanson. I did a portrait of Ron Swanson because I attended Adobe Max 2015, and he was speaking there, and I wanted to give it to him because he has a place in Silver Lake here. He has his own wood cutting business, his own carpentry business, and I wanted to give it to him, but I couldn't find him after the show. But the type of portraiture that I do is more like caricature based, but my own style of caricature. You know, there's such a like a oh, no worries. Welcome back. We're just talking about portraiture, and I'm sure you can agree. You've done a few portraits yourself, Michelle, about how painstaking it is and how time-consuming it is to get it right, you know, because you have to, you know, take into account every little fold in the face, you know. Yeah, the Swanson character I really took creative liberty in doing, hence how I do my portraits. It's a very kind of stylized look. Jason Seilers, have you ever heard of him, Caleb? Jason or Seilers, Seilers. That guy does some crazy caricatures, but he has such a style in and of him. Like when you see his stuff, you can tell that it's him. It's not just some, you know, person trying to do a knockoff version of caricature, you know. Because there's a way to do it so generically, you can just get by, you know. Yeah, Jason Seilers, exactly. Check him out, man. You'll just, he's crazy. He's got an awesome class on schoolism.com about portraiture and doing someone's likeness and what he looks out for, because it's really hard to teach observation, you know. That's why art is only meant for some people, you know. Some people just don't get it because they lack that inner thing, and that's okay, you know. But he explains some things in a very, very difficult way that makes a lot of sense, you know. You can't teach talent to someone. A lot of people will disagree and go, yeah, all you have to do is go to an art college or whatever, but you're getting a very watered-down version of what you could be doing. There we go. That's what I wanted. Very true, man. And you know what? The thing is, most of the time when it does click, it's really just based off of the way someone explains something or words it, you know? Because that's happened to me so many times. Music theory, for example. Don't know a lick of it, but I've been playing guitar, you know? I can play a mean guitar. You know, I'm not gonna lie. I had a point to that. Oh, but you can't teach that raw. Like, how do you teach improvisation? You know, you can show someone, hey, when you're playing in this key, you want to play in this scale, and you can play these 5 different modes that represent that scale in a kind of hybridized breakoff fashion. But aside from that, no one can intrinsically, like, hold your hand while you're going through musical scales or, you know. Yeah, the 10,000 hour rule, which means that it takes you 10,000 hours to actually acquire a skill set if you're taking that skill set seriously. I kind of agree with that, but there's obviously little loopholes in there. If no one's watching you, you could be learning the wrong way for all that time, you know. But yeah, it really is about that creativity, that spark, you know. And that's difficult. It's a difficult thing to navigate. Even talk about. I'm trying to search for words on creativity. That's why there are a few classes on creativity. Because if someone was like, hey, you know, I'm going to be doing more Periscope broadcasts, what would you guys like to learn about? If I saw creativity, that's I'm befuddled. Not only that, but that raises a good point. If you're on any type of let's say creativity is a real problem and it's a very individual pursuit. It is. One thing I was going to say too is you have to think of your quality of life and also what you ingest. So if you're suffering from depression or any type of thing that you're taking prescription medication for, that medication will alter and perturb the chemistry in your brain that is responsible for that original, you know, flighty, novel idea or thought, you know. So that's a whole different topic in and of itself. Well, there's always psychedelic mushrooms. That's kind of like a hack into the Matrix, if you will. Well, there you go, Caleb. 5 dried grams of psilocybin mushrooms on an empty stomach in silent darkness. Don't eat anything for 12 hours beforehand. If you're suffering from... Okay, use the term microdosing. I assume that I'm preaching to the choir at this point. You wanna get some ideas, you gotta go into the Akash. You gotta go back to the Akash, where all ideas and thoughts are originated. And you're quite right, because you know what? Anytime I'm like, I don't know what to draw, sometimes all you have to do is go out for a walk and see some weirdo, and a flurry of ideas emerge into your thoughts, you know? Yeah. That's exactly it. You're tapping into something. You're tapping into something that most people don't even know that is there to tap into. And they're wondering why their quality of life is diminished. And why they're, you know, I don't know. I digress. Yeah, it's true. A lot of times people are actually looking, like if you're looking for, I don't know. It's a really flighty conversation to get into. But normally when I'm looking for ideas, I don't really look for the phraseology of, like if I'm looking for spaceships, for example, I won't look up spaceships on Pinterest. Because you're just going to see a bunch of shit that other people have seen, you know? I'll look for things like custom irons instead, or look at wrought iron work, or, you know, architecture along those lines as well. And then that'll give me an original idea as to how to express making a hard surface spaceship or something like that. You know what I mean? Because otherwise, if you're just looking up spaceship on Google because you want to buy a spaceship, or you want to buy a spaceship, you want to draw a spaceship, you're just going to draw someone else's spaceship. All right. Michelle, thank you so much for hanging out. And again, thank you for the marker, or the brush pen. 1,000 thank yous. That's super kind of you. Native and I have been doing Periscope for about 3 years now, and we have been featured, at least for myself, at least a dozen times. What's up, Ellie? How you doing? So that helps because when you're featured, you're seen internationally. So if you're living in Turkey or Australia and you have Periscope on your phone, well, you know, you get to be seen by those people, which is awesome. Yeah. Well, you can say the same thing about Amanda Oleander as well, you know. She started when there was no one on here, and now she has hundreds of thousands of followers. I'm well, thank you. Just getting some portfolio pieces done for my website because I'm updating it and all that fun stuff and wrangling it. Websites are no joke. How did you manage to get featured? Well, you have to post something that I guess is worthy of being featured, really. I mean, it comes down to how unique the title of your broadcast is and the content that mirrors that and reflects it. You've only been streaming art for a month? Yeah, it's going to take you some traction for sure, man. But as long as you keep doing it, people will return and watch you for sure. You'll be trying to do 2 a week. Cool, man. Try to ramp that up a bit, though, because if you really want to do something on Periscope or get a few art gigs and get paid, there was a stretch, especially the second year, after my streak of features, where I was going once a day for at least 3 hours every day for 9 months straight. So that's just going to give you just a little bit of perspective as to how people are like, how did you get 25,000 followers? I scoped every day for at least 3 hours a day for 9 months straight. Yeah. The cool thing I like about Periscope, though, Caleb, is that it's kept me accountable to myself. When you come on here and you're like, I'm going to start something, you better finish it or you better make a lot of progress because people are watching, And I've been babbling a lot, so I'm going to, get back and calling myself out here. But it's so easy to lose yourself in this medium, especially when it's working for you, I mean, I've paid my rent for a year on this. Just doing what I've been doing, and I'm not gloating at all. I'm saying that from a completely humbled perspective, Yep. Yeah, Ali knows. So does Anthony. What's up, man? How are you? Nice to see you on here. It does, and one thing that's awesome, if you're an artist, I'm sure you're probably aware of Inktober. That's the thing that I told everybody about right here. If you go to my website and go to csmurphy.com/store, you'll see a little ink glob show up with a little link to all 31 of the ones that I did. So, you're humble. Yes, I am humble. You know that. But yeah, I sell all my stuff on there, and the Inktober thing, that is talking about accountability. Doing a drawing challenge that promotes healthy drawing habits every single day will also promote the next best habit, which would be to let the world know about your artistic prowess. And that's why I chose to, stream every day for 9 months straight like that, because I knew it would work, because I've seen testimonials, I've heard people do freelance podcasts, offer these free solution-based things that worked for them, which is just, that consistency. A lot of people don't have consistency, my friends. And thank you for the comment about my logo. I appreciate that. Consistency is key. I really challenged myself. I'm like, yeah, okay, did that for 9 months straight. I'm good. So I make a living selling my originals. Yes, I do. Yep. Had a lot of meetups. There was Summit Live last year where I actually met City Cynic, also known as Anthony, on here at the Periscope after party. That was pretty awesome. That was fun times. Yeah, it was, man. Did you end up going to the Busker one afterwards? It was a few blocks away, but that was impressive too. Yeah, it does. And for some reason, text-to-speech doesn't work on Periscope because it freezes the broadcast. I've tried that so many times, too. Anthony, right on, man. Have a great night. Oh, absolutely, man. Anytime. I don't mind answering questions or anything like that because I feel everyone needs to, you know, kind of get on board with this, especially if you have a skill set or something that people enjoy watching on the regular and, you know, you're offering a service. You definitely belong on live streaming for sure, you know. Yeah, you know what? That even is a tough thing to get out of the way. Like you scoping and being at peace with what it is that you're scoping and not sweating through your shirts. Man, the first time I started scoping, I was so nervous. Like my girlfriend at the time had to be like out of the apartment and if I was interrupted or if she walked into the room, it would like mess with my rhythm and all that. And now it's just like I walk out in Hollywood and I start, you know, broadcasting in front of the Hollywood Star Walk or something, and there's, you know, hundreds of people around me and I don't give a shit. You know, it's cool. That's another reason why I started periscoping like that, was to also get out of my own way, you know, not only to hold myself accountable to have a consistency in my life about creating art every single day, but, you know, it's the other thing that I just said that I forgot about. Anyways. Yeah, absolutely. And people are like, "Oh my God, how do you do this every day? Wow, how do you get how do you stay creative?" It's you just have to do it. You know, people are in wonder about how you do it because they have no clue themselves as to do it themselves. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like if you want to take anything seriously in your life, yeah, that totally, yeah, it helps with that stage fright and all that. I'm a musician myself. I've been playing guitar for just about 28 years, so definitely kills that stage fright. But asking yourself a series of questions, just back to like a lot of people, a lot of people are just like, how do you do this? How do you stay creative all the time? You have to stay consistent, because when you're primed like that, the brain knows how to be creative on the regular. It's no different than, exercising your actual physical muscles as opposed to your brain muscle. You go to a gym, you work out, you get buff. If you don't work out for a week, your body feels it. It takes you, twice the amount of time to get back to where you were when you were consistent. It's no different. Yeah, you gotta keep that mode in your head. Nice. And that's another thing too, if you want to excel, that's a great point, Caleb, to make sure that you do a minimum but a maximum at the same time. Do something that you're comfortable with doing as long as you complete it, but at the same time give yourself a challenge so that when you are doing that, 1,000 or 2,000 words a day, that it's something that you can actually consume on a regular basis, In other words, don't give yourself an unrealistic goal, That's cool. I have a friend that is friends with, I'm just going to name drop right now, Elton John. And he was approached by Elton John. He was hanging out at his house one night, and he was deciding whether or not he wanted to release this song, because it's actually taking him more than a day to write. And I didn't appreciate Elton John until after I heard this story, because for those of you that don't respect Elton John, maybe you will after I say this, he writes songs just in a stream of consciousness. He doesn't take time and spend months and months or weeks or all this time creating songs. It just comes out in a stream of consciousness, and if it doesn't, then it just never happens. So when you hear everything that he's ever created, it's just come out of him, like you took a cork out and you're just pouring this amazingly distilled song into a cup, and it came out perfect every time. So my point in saying that is that you want to give yourself a standard, right? But at the same time, you don't want to trip over yourself and second guess yourself or your craft, for that matter. You know, if you write 2,000 words a day and that's comfortable for you, then that's amazing. And keep that going, because it might not be this year or the next year, but, you know, then you'll be able to do, 4,000 or maybe 25, depending on the increment and what you can handle. That's awesome, man. Congrats. That's a great accomplishment. Every time I hear something like that, I'm just like, that's how you do life, man. That's how you do it. It's by getting out of your own way and actually being productive for once, Not to say that you're, lazy or whatever, Caleb. I'm just saying, like, for me personally, I was a super lazy person. And I'm like, all I have to do is put a little bit in a day and then see, like, a result at the end of the week. That's magic. You're making your own magic, and it's all built around your own motivation to actually do something with your life, And people think it's like this mystery, but it isn't. People don't realize that the actual technology that we're using right now to view this broadcast is the very thing that's actually destroying our creativity, that is making us short with each other, There's something to be said about that. Christ, look on YouTube and watch the people that were, aside from Zuckerberg, two other dudes that helped put Facebook together, and they said it themselves. It's there to erode your sense of self, to make sure you get that dopamine, that like, that heart, whatever. They want to hook you. And they're coming out and admitting this now, because it's already an established thing. The money's been granted and distributed in the way it's going to be. And now people are coming out going, you know what? We did humankind the biggest disservice ever, which is to preoccupy us all with something that we shouldn't have to worry ourselves with. You know what I mean? I find it weird, disgusting, and abusive that I look up something for the first time ever and then realize that my Google feed or something like that has the very thing that I was looking up for the first time ever in my life now in the feed or in the Google AdSense or whatever. That is an insult. That means that we're being marketed to, spied on. So that at some point you're going to end up pressing that button and clicking that one ad because they're trying to market you, And you might be, fed up with that whole AdSense thing and all that, but they'll find a way to hook, line, and sinker you. They will. And that's what they said. One of the people, they're like, oh, well, what do you do? Well, I do live social media or social media. Like when Facebook was first coming out, I forgot the guy's name, but he was being questioned what it is that he does. Oh, well, I make, social media. Oh, well, I still use a rotary phone, so I won't be ever using that in my life. And they rebutted and said, oh, okay, that's a shame, but you will be. In other words, we will get you. Oh, yes, we will. You might not have a Facebook account now. You might, deactivate your account because you're like, this is a little too much, but you'll be back. And they'll save your account too. You can't delete your account. They'll save it in the event that you come back and gain a sense of real self with Facebook. Seriously, guys, it's a huge sham. It's a huge club, and you're not in it. Neither am I, as George Carlin says. Anyways, I'm going to get out of here. It was nice talking to everybody, as per usual. If anyone's interested in checking out quotes or anything like that as far as my line of work, please feel free to go to CS Murphy Art on any of these social media platforms, or go to csmurphy.com. I have a contact section. Just tell me what it is that you're looking to do, and I'll give you a price quote on it in a day or two. So thanks so much for being here, you guys. This is all I got for you today, and I will talk to you guys next time. Have a good one. Thanks again.